Nice if there was a Coastal player there to put that in the back of the net. It was hanging out there, it seemed like, for about a second. It's the difference between High Point. They had a lot of players around the net. That time Coastal just couldn't get enough in there. But hey, things happen when you keep the ball around that 6-yard box. So Coastal, this entire first half, has been doing a pretty good job at keeping it in that area.
I agree. And Shauna Clear's just unable to come through there. If they had somebody out in front of the net causing a little bit of a disruption, they would have come. Nice job, Anna Lowe. Anna Lowe, this first half, I mean, it's been the Anna Lowe show in the first half. She's played tremendous soccer.
You look at her back there with Cami Skladania, a senior, both seniors back there. It's good to have that leadership as Coastal is trying to make a run now.
Here's Stern, left foot, played out in front. Kelly was there, the ball is in the net. The ball finds its way into the back of the net. I don't know if Kelly got a piece of it, but that was a well-played ball by Christina Stern. And I did not think that that was going to have a chance to go in, but Kelly providing the traffic in front. That's just what we were talking about. Get some bodies in front of the net. Kelly went streaking in there like a missile to try and get her head on it, and somehow it skips in.
I don't know if Kelly got a head on that. We'll take a look at the replay and we'll let you know. But if she did get a head on that, then that would be a top 10 play, I believe.
As they're going to try to figure out who got a piece of that. Stern actually comes off the field a little banged up on that play, and she was the one who made the initial strike towards the net. The Shauna Clears go on top here, and stunning the first place High Point Panthers here on senior day thus far. A 1-0 edge for Coastal Carolina. Again, this High Point team has not lost in conference play here in 2012. Has played to 2 draws. They played to a 3-3 draw at Winthrop and a 2-2 tie against Radford. But the Shauna Clears here with the early advantage, and again trying to figure out exactly who got it. As this one headed on it, a good job getting it out of the way by Thea Johnson, who was playing deep back in front of the net, making a wall that time. And this will be a goal kick for the Shauna Clears. And after further review, Ryan Borowski goes under the hood, checks out the play. And what do you have for us?
After further review, it looks like Casey Kelly got a head on it.
Wow.
Stern sent it wide left of the wide left of the post, and Casey Kelly redirected it into the back of the goal. And you said it best, laid out for that. And that was an unbelievable play. Casey Kelly, I believe, her 9th on the year for the shots.
I hear Morgan Thomas blew a tire as she tried to get to the sideline to play that ball. And she skitters down to the turf. What a phenomenal play that time from Casey Kelly. And the leading goal scorer on this team coming into today's action anyway. For Kelly, it'll be goal number 9 on the year. Christina Stern picks up helper number 3 on the campaign. And the Shauna Clears up 1-0. And again, as we said, as you were looking at the replay, stunning High Point here early on.
Absolutely. And I think when Kelly looked at that play, there were so many opportunities for the shots, and Kelly's been involved in a lot of them. And it's almost like that ball went by, and she was like, whatever, I'm just going to dive and see if I can get something to happen with it, because we've been coming up empty too many times. And Casey Kelly got her 9th goal of the year, and you got to give it to Stern. I know she limped off the field. Looks like she's just cramping up in her calf, but that was a great, great serve in there to Casey Kelly.
She got it with her left foot towards the middle of the net. And again, the last trip down for the Shauna Clears into the offensive zone, there was a chance there. And it was a rebound out in front that, as you mentioned, it looked like it sat out in front of Cocklery's for about a minute. And somehow she was able to calmly scoop it up and get it out of harm's way. Well, the Shauna Clears not going to make that same mistake twice. They got a body in front, and that was just an all-out effort from Kelly for her 9th goal of the year.
Well, one thing, and one Coastal has to take advantage of it while they're on this side of the field, as all of our papers blow everywhere in the booth. That wind is strong out there, and that wind was right behind that ball of Christina Stern coming from this way. We saw that in the Presbyterian game about a week ago. There was a lot of wind, and it helped Coastal. They scored the majority of their 6 goals on this side of the field. You have to take advantage of it, because High Point, if they kick from this side of the field, the far side, from everybody watching at home, they're going into that wind, so it does slow down the ball just a bit.
As we mentioned earlier, Morgan Thomas comes in, one of the 6 seniors here today. Alyssa Clark checks in for Fia Johnson now. Both Clark sisters on for the Chanticleers at this moment. And the ball will trickle out of play across the chalk with 11:50 remaining here in the first half. A 1-0 edge for Coastal Carolina, a team battling for that playoff spot. And they are knocking on the doorstep. In fact, right now, firmly in that number 4 spot, but a bunch of teams kind of clustered right there.
The only harder task to accomplish would be if Alyssa and Amanda Clark were number 16 and 10 out there. Then you really have some issues.
Exactly. As now HighPoint with an attack of their own and a good job stepping in front of that one. The Chanticleers, Megan Wagner. Skladany gets that one off her right cleat. Forced ahead by HighPoint. They're going to try and settle things down, but every time HighPoint inches their way down into the offensive area, the Chanticleers have come up with an answer. Here's Kelly, sprung free out in front of the pack. If she can get in front of this and settle it down, she's going to have a play. Kind of hurried that one because she had 2 defenders coming in from either side. And Kelly just trying to do something with it off the left foot, out of play, goal kick upcoming for HighPoint.
And the one thing I noticed from this Coastal defense right now, it looks like it's kind of a bend don't break mentality, which is good because you're not allowing that goal, but at the same time, you know, at some point HighPoint's going to come through. So you want to keep this ball on this side of the field. We talked about how they have the ability to score 4 goals in their last game against Charleston Southern. So keep the ball on this side of the field. Don't even give them an opportunity to have it into the box. Because right now Coastal's making outstanding defensive plays, and those plays are tough to continue as the game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, and a great point by you. At some point, a bend but don't break most of the time does eventually at some point break down. And at HighPoint, just so talented, too talented to really, you would think, be kept off the scoreboard here today. But the Chanticleers doing that right now, and Anna Lowe again.
The low show.
The low show here at CCU Soccer Field in the first half against a dangerous HighPoint team, the first place team in the Big South Conference. And the Chanticleers look right now like they are the first place. Now they're playing like a first place squad in this first half. Here Thomas off the head, plays to Clark. Clark will back down the defender. Will skitter it back to Lowe, and this one out of play off of HighPoint.
Hannah Lowe doing a lot of running up this sideline back and forth. You heard Paul Hogan go, Anna Lowe, go. Imagine working so hard back here, but at the same time, you have to burst out into a sprint at a given moment because the ball is heading your way.
And now Casey Kelly going to come off and join the sideline crew as she was able to pick up her 9th goal of the year to put the Chanticleers on top on a beautiful feed. A lovely ball played by Christina Stern to the front. And it was Kelly who put the finishing touches on that. And that's the reason we're up 1-0 here. Chanticleers on top. HighPoint will settle this out towards midfield. Coco off the head will still battle for that. HighPoint comes away with it. Clark with a header. Played by Darby Kelly. Off to that far sideline to Maddie Phillips, and Phillips goes to Okoko. We mentioned last game, Okoko kind of reminds you of a Pedro Ribeiro style player if you're looking to compare to the men's team. She does such a good job using her body and that frame.
And she does, and you saw it earlier. She was fighting through that HighPoint defense, and that's something good to have up there. The power offensively for the Chants in the sense that it creates more opportunities that would be there otherwise. So like the last time she was up there, she created another opportunity, gives them a few more shots that maybe they wouldn't even have a chance of having.
Wow, they're going to whistle Thomas for this one, but I thought that was just a tremendous effort by Thomas altogether. She nearly won that battle and took away that ball, but she's going to get whistled here, and HighPoint going to set it down and kick it across the midfield line.
Better believe HighPoint's looking for this equalizer before half. It would be awesome if Coastal, for their sake, could get into half with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, how big for their confidence coming in to the second half, gone top 1-0. Would that be for them against the team in HighPoint that had not allowed an opponent to score in 3 consecutive contests and just 1 goal in the previous 5 games. So HighPoint defensively has just been a juggernaut, especially over the last month. Now the Chanticleers will have another substitution. Checking into the game for Coastal Carolina. Mickey Encelados will come onto the field as Darby Kelly will check out. Chanticleers up 1-zip, 6:47 remaining first half. Here on Senior Day 2012.
Again, this is also an opportunity for Coastal to get to 10 wins on the year. I'll have to look back into the record books and see when the last time that was.
Here's a Coco Thomas, a little bit of room there. Thomas tries to get that right hand on, or foot on it, and she just did knock it over to the left side, but couldn't get it through cleanly. And HighPoint, boy, that time it was a dangerous play. And that's a handball, and they finally do whistle that one. A little help from the booth from Ryan Borowski. Color guy and sideline official Ryan Borowski making that call.
Absolutely, and you could tell it was right over here by this ref too, right off the wrist of a HighPoint player. That was a good defensive stand, though. Obviously, Morgan Thomas did a great job. You got to give credit to HighPoint that time, stepping up defensively and blocking that one.
Good strike here by Skladani into the box and quickly sent right back out towards midfield, and HighPoint trying to go on a run here. But they cannot as Maddie Phillips in a joust on that far sideline takes down the HighPoint Panther attack, that time led by Megan Krasno.
And how about the discipline? And this speaks to the coaching of this Coastal Carolina team. Yeah, Cami Skladani got up. She had the free kick. She sent it there. Immediately, all three defensive players sprinted back. You heard the coaches say, drop, drop, drop. But it didn't even need to hear that. They went automatically. That's a lot of discipline. And you got to speak highly of the coaches right there to implement that in practice and keep it second nature in the game.
Here's Lowe. Good ball played up front to Thomas. Thomas trying to streak to the corner of the box. Has it into the middle to Okoko. Okoko plants, drives, and that one is wide to the right of the post. Out of play. It'll be a goal kick upcoming, and now a substitution for HighPoint. Shannon Quakenbush will come in.
Not exactly sure what Okoko could have done with that ball, but she did have a lot of room at the top of the 18. We haven't seen that much here today. She decided to move to her right a little bit, try to get a shooting lane, and went a little bit too far, wide right of the goal.
Now this ball played ahead by Clark. Thomas streaking towards it. She's going to keep it alive, and Thomas, if she's able to get there, can put this one in. Left foot, and that one on top of the net. It's just a sharp angle that time for Thomas. She ran out of room. That was going to have to be just a deft shot by Thomas, and she just unable to come through with a clear shot.
That would have been a very tough shot. She did have the right idea, though. She tried to loop it over. Like you said, the angle just wasn't there for the senior for the shots on that one. But she created that play all by herself, came down with the hustle, and that's about the third or fourth time we've seen HighPoint struggle getting possession of that ball in the box. Coastal, you'd like to see them take advantage of that more than just the one goal that they have.
Well said. I mean, Cocklery's very aggressive in net. She's made a couple of aggressive plays on the ball, and it's left her exposed in the net. I mean, there's been a couple of times where the Chanticleers were unable to get to a ball that kind of squirted free or had laid out in front of the net. And the one goal that the Chanticleers did score came off of a cross from Stern to Kelly. And Kelly came through like a missile in the box to head it into the back of the net. But I think that's what you're going to have to see the Chanticleers do throughout this afternoon, is get that traffic in front, because Cockleries, as we've seen so far, has given up some rebounds, has played aggressively, and has left her post how many times here in the first half, and it could be a lot worse than it is right now. There's HighPoint. Strike this one into the box. Head it out. HighPoint tries to keep that one alive, cannot. That time Clark went down to head that ball. That was a dangerous play. And thank goodness she was not hurt on that one, as Allie Morin gives it a run. Runs out of room as Cockleries will boot this one out towards midfield.
Allie